Okay. How does this Ice Booster 3 currently? It is March the 12th, 2026. I was gonna make a video tomorrow instead of today, but it's there was some news that came out in regards to I think Secretary Kennedy. He was talking about RFK Jr. and basically they were talking about macchiatos from I guess reportedly Starbucks or whatever, and how much sugar they can contain. And I'm like, there's so much stuff that's going on with Iran. There's so much stuff that's going on with the Clintons. There's so much stuff that's going on with just the world in general. And here we are. Here we have RFK Jr. In my opinion, still trying to take candy from babies, or yeah, in so many words. Because I mean, pretty much, I think they've already said that they was gonna try to restrict food stamps so that people who receive food stamps, they're not gonna be able to buy some certain types of candies on food stamps. And now, the people who actually have money, that I guess go to these coffee shops or whatever, and buy their $6 or $7 macchiatos, they they're going after them too, saying that the coffees are unhealthy or whatever. Anyway, I'm at home drinking my tea. Usually it's a beer, but tea today. I mean, they say that beer is supposed to lead to cancer. What you gonna do about that, RFK Jr.? He's already gotten rid of the marijuana vapes that a lot of people fought for, or the hemp vapes or whatever. And so here he is going after food stamps and then coffee from Starbucks, the hemp vapes. I mean, what's next? You gonna go after, I don't know, lollipops next? I don't. I mean, he's already went after lollipops because of the food stamps. So, I mean, what other absurd thing? Let me pause for a second. You know what? Things are so absurd right now. I can't even think of anything else. I mean, I'm looking at people. Let me pause a second for another second. Okay, there's a point I was trying to make. So, if I'm looking at this tea, I'm looking at my tea right now. Now, if I wanted to add extra sugar into my coffee and all this other stuff like at home, I would do that. So there really is no difference with me going to Starbucks, which I don't go to Starbucks. I'm broke. I don't have $7 to spend on a single coffee. But I'm just saying, in general, because I'm like, first it was the hemp vapes, right? Then it was the food stamps restricting candy and etc. If I wanted extra fucking sugar inside of my coffee and all these other sugary ingredients, I would do it at home. Anyway, so I'm looking at these other countries, and they've banned a lot of products that the United States make in regards to their food products. I think what Red 40, some of the beef, etc. A lot of things that we eat inside of the United States is banned overseas. And so what gets me is that Coca-Cola and McDonald's and these other franchises, they sell overseas too. So why don't we in America get the same kind of restrictions in regards to what is restricted inside of Europe and Japan and China overseas? I mean, because and pretty much because you have to think that these companies they're making basically two products. I mean, two products with two separate ingredients, and so they give the United States the cheap ingredients, and they give overseas over there the expensive ingredients, right? Anyway, and yet we're supposed to be the richest country inside of the world. Anyway, let me think. Let me see here. Let me pause in a second. Okay, so there are a lot of celebrities that say that pretty much when they go and eat like from a fast food chicken chain restaurant in the United States here, it messes their stomach up. But if they go overseas to some other nation, I forgot what exact locations they were at. They said that it they don't get sick, but when they eat the food here, they get sick. And so I'm just saying, these companies, they use separate ingredients for the United States and separate ingredients for overseas. How can we? Because my point is that RFK Jr. I guess he's supposed to be making America healthy again, and yet all he's really doing is just screwing, in my opinion, screwing the people who live here, who would just want to just go buy their hemp vapes in peace and not get shot while they're enjoying themselves inside of a park or on their way home, mind you, or going to a Starbucks and buying a macchiato, a coffee, like, or maybe a diabetic who's on food stamps and suffers from a sugar imbalance or whatever. And they need their food stamps to buy some cake or cookie or whatever to regulate that. I mean, yes, they have medications, but sometimes you just want to go the simple route. Anyway, the only thing that I've heard that made sense in regards to this administration is Donald Trump saying something about Coca-Cola is going to be is Coca-Cola. I cannot talk right. Coca-Cola is starting to use cane sugar. Okay, that's the only thing that made sense. Anyway, so I mean, because that makes sense, because they say that high fructose. There's a lot of controversy around the use of high fructose corn syrup. I'll leave it there. I mean, the use of high fructose corn syrup has had similar pushback as upon the removal of net neutrality that happened all the way back in 2016, 2017, which made the internet well, I've already went over that, but basically it allowed these companies to censor people, in my opinion, and mostly Republicans, but maybe some Democrats too. Anyway, but it allowed a lot of censorship, in my opinion, and Donald Trump signed that away, and you saw how it turned out. It seemed like he was begging for it to come back, and I think Joe Biden was the one who actually reinstated it after pretty much so many people got banned. But I think when Donald Trump came back, that's when I think he added some additional provisions in regards to the censorship. In my opinion. So here we are again with this administration still trying to in my opinion, take candy from babies. Anyway, let me pause a second. Just lost some train of thought. Okay. But I was quite literally yesterday trying to find more information in regards to the deposition that went on yesterday involving, I believe his name is Richard Kahn. I might be wrong, because I'm just tired now at this point. I'm like after this video about this macchiato situation popped up, I'm like, look, I'm done. I'm like, what did this shaky voice bitch do this time? Referencing RFK Jr. What did this shaky fucking voice bitch do this time? Because I'm still remembering the day that September 10th, when there was these jets that was flying over this man's head and Pam Bundy's head, and they're talking about, so we seized $12 million or $13 million worth of vapes from these shops that invested inside of Donald Trump's 2018 Farm Bill. And right then, just then, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And keep in mind, Charlie Kirk's net worth at the time, I believe, was around $13 million. And apparently, Pam Bundy and RFK Jr., they seized roughly the same amount of money from these hemp shops that invested inside of Donald Trump's 2018 Farm Bill. So there's something else that happened too. But it just. So I'm thinking about this Democratic man who's running for governor in Alabama. His name is Chad Chig Martin, and really I've been meditating on, like, I really don't want to vote Democrat. I said I would never vote Democrat after seeing what I've seen, and I'm looking at this shaky fucking voice bitch. I'm like, I mean, it might be that there's like some kind of vendetta against Starbucks, but I'm like, regular people want to be let the fuck alone. They want to be let the fuck alone. I don't even have the money to buy Starbucks, but I'm just I'm like, leave people the fuck alone. I just want to go to the mall. If I had like extra money and etc., I just want to go to the mall or go to Target and like look at some clothes. Go to the Starbucks stand and buy me. Maybe I'm like, you know what? I'll treat myself to a Starbucks coffee or whatever, and maybe a burger, whatever they sell, a donut. I don't know. I don't care. Just leave it. I don't want to think about some shaky voice bitch taking my shit. Or taking an option from an already limited pool of stuff that I can do in regards to my civilian life or regular life or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, there was a point I was trying to make and I forgot it. I'm just kind of irritated. And I probably repeat myself several times. I'm sorry. Let me pause for a second. I think I was thinking about, like, pretty much basically the governor of Alabama and I guess other senators, that them putting age restrictions on pornos and stuff like that. People want to be let the fuck alone. Nobody gives a shit. Like, if the only people that you're really affecting is the older people who just want to just go to work, come home, watch whatever the fuck they want to watch, and be let the fuck alone. A kid is gonna do what they're gonna do. If you put age restrictions on their phones or whatever, that should prevent that. Or if you have it so that, you know what, that's even more of a an invasion of privacy. So it's like, anyway, I'm just looking at everything. Okay, I'm like, people want me to let the fuck alone. I think there's one more thing before I get on to I finally was able to watch the Melania documentary, and yeah, I have a few things to say about that. So let me pause for another second to see if that's everything that I want to get off my chest for now. Let me pause. Oh, apparently there's an active shooter that's reported. There's a situation going on with the active shooter at Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield, Michigan. So that happened or whatever. I'm so burnt out. I have not even looked into the Iranian war situation. I am so burnt out. But I mean, I get it in regards to the logistics of China, Russia, and the threats that they are. I didn't get it until I watched this other video, and they talked about the geopolitical the stances that each countries have, and so Iran is. How do I say this? I care, and I pray for the people of Iran, and I pray for the said pay. Wow. I pray for the everyone that's involved. Because I mean, you can't. Anyway, so apparently there's an active shooter situation inside of the Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield, Michigan. I pray for everybody. What is this too? Let me pause a second. The most important thing to me though. Now there's this video that says that it says Iran cannot take part in the U.S. World Cup amid war. Country's sports minister says. Now all the way back, I believe in 2025, there's this man. His name is Mr. Joshua. He said that the rapture was supposed to happen on September the 23rd or the 24th, 2025. And so that you need to be ready. And keep in mind, Charlie Kirk's funeral, I believe, was on September the 21st, 2025. But Mr. Joshua and his videos on the Cent Twins channel, and you can to spell it out, it's CENTTWINZ channel, I believe, right? Anyway, and his name is Mr. Joshua. He said the rapture is to happen on September the 23rd or 24th, and then he pushed it up a few days, I think around like October 6th or 7th or whatever. Anyway, but he specifically said that there would not be a World Cup in 2026. And that's how you know that his prophecy is real. And so I'm not saying that his prophecy is going to come true or not, because that's, I don't know how he gets his information from the universe or whatever, or however you say it, God, universe, whatever. All I know is that on July the 4th, 2026, transit Mars in the sky will conjoin transit Uranus inside the sky, and that deals with terrorist attacks. So all I'm saying is be careful around that day. Also, I believe April 20th. Let me pause a second to get the exact lore, because pause. Okay. So on April the 20th, 2026, transit Mercury in the sky will conjoin transit Mars in the sky. And that deals with huge revelations in regards to Epstein. Every time it's conjoined so far, I believe like 4 or 5 times. It's going to conjoin it 4 or 5 times in total. And speaking of that, I believe on March the 14th or the 15th. That's like days from now. Today's the 12th, right? So 12, 13, 14, 15. So 4 days from now, transit Mercury in the sky will conjoin transit Mars in the sky as well. And around the same time, on the same day, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon. Jesus Christ, don't do this to me right now. So on March the 14th, 2026, Hillary Clinton's progressed moon will oppose her natal Pluto. And the last time this happened was on December the 4th, 1998, and that's 15 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment. So again, the Clintons are going through the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky situation, and it does not that astrology does not end until July the 20th, 2026. But however, on August the 9th, 2026, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will make an aspect to his progressed and natal Uranus. So it's like a major shocking event for him. And then I think days later, Hillary Clinton, she's going to have a huge situation with her, I think her progressed Pluto conjoining her natal Mars. And so it's like explosive anger. But after this, I think that happens on I can just look at it right here. Right? Hopefully it's here. So yeah, on August 22nd, 2026, with Hillary Clinton, her progressed Pluto will conjoin her natal Mars, and it's faded, transformative, destructive anger. But around this time, transit K2 and transit Sun inside the sky on August 22nd, 2026, will conjoin Donald Trump's natal ascendant. And every time K2 is conjoined Donald Trump's natal ascendant, he has had to go into survival mode. And then looking at the further future, on November the 19th, 2026, Donald Trump, his progressed moon will trine his progressed Saturn. It's a depressive emotional block for him. So this is around the time of the elections. So something could happen in regards to Donald Trump that caused him to be depressed about the elections, the midterm elections. Even though this whole Epstein situation, it seems like something takes out something. Bill Clinton's going through the same struggles as the Monica Lewinsky scandal, so something crazy happens with Bill Clinton this year, and yet still Donald Trump will not be happy about the midterm elections. Anyway, moving on, because I've said this so many times, I'm tired. But I forgot I had a point that I was trying to make, so let me pause a second, because I forgot. Okay, so I think I was referencing Mr. Joshua and him claiming that the rapture is going to happen. Begin on September the 25th or the 24th, 2025. I need to also say this though. On August the 22nd, 2026, Donald Trump needs to be extremely careful in regards to his health and his life, because there could be an assassination attempt on his life around that date of August 22nd, 2026, because K2 is losses to whatever it touches. And with transit sun conjoining transit K2 inside the sky, it's like a loss for a king. So, and see, the last time this happened, I believe, was when Charlie Kirk, transit sun conjoined transit K2 inside the sky. That's what caused the death of Charlie Kirk. Even though there's other astrology that was tied to it too. Still, he needs to be careful around August 22nd, 2026. And also on July 4th, 2026, because that's when transit Mars in the sky was conjoined transit Uranus inside the sky. And see, my point was that Mr. Joshua, in his prophecy or whatever, he said that there would not be a World Cup in 2026. That's how you know his prophecy is correct. So, yeah. And then lastly, I need to say that on March 2027, that's when, for some reason, it's like Donald Trump and his circle gets lucky. So he may not be happy about the midterm elections, Donald Trump, but for some reason inside of March, something happens that makes him lucky. Because I think his progressed Jupiter, let me get the exact lore. His progressed Jupiter will square his natal Venus. And it means his partners and circles will get lucky. Maybe it's fraud being exposed. I don't know. And really, I'm not gonna say that that's gonna be that it's gonna be what do you say Anyway, I'm looking at my own chart, and around this time I have a progression of Mars. So it's like something bad happens in regards to my personal life. So I don't know. So what I'm saying is that I'm making a prediction. So, but I'm like use your own logic and try to figure things out. But the astrology says that Donald Trump in his circles gets unlucky around March, the month of March. Let me see here. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about before I set up and review Melania, which is going to be kind of short because anyway, is Richard Kahn and the deposition in regards to him. The only thing that stood out to me so far, because the deposition has not been released, and I don't want to say anything about it until I get to watch the entire deposition, which I probably won't do, because my only objective was to keep it out. Well, was to watch the Bill and Hillary Clinton depositions. But I'll try to get through it. I haven't even watched the Lex Wexner deposition. But the only thing that stood out to me in regards to what James Comer said, somebody asked James Comer about some videos and possible recordings. I believe in the Mexico houses or whatever, maybe possibly on the Epstein Island as well too. I don't know. But James Comer, he had a slight smile when he said that, there has not been any evidence released in regards to that. Keep in mind that Bill Clinton, during his deposition, he was asked about a video. And he I guess he acted like he didn't, in my opinion, he acted like he didn't know about any videos or something like that. I forgot what the girl's name was. I think it was Sarah. I forgot who the video was possibly in relation to. Allegedly, reportedly, and in my opinion, can't get my words out. So that's that. So I guess I want to talk about my opinion of Melania Trump's documentary called Melania. So let me pause for a second. So let me start off like this. Melania's birthday is on April 26th. I forgot the year. But my birthday is on April 26th. Weirdly enough, and we're also weirdly enough, transit Uranus will enter the sign of Gemini on April the 26th, 2026. And I'm thinking about RFK Jr., Pam Bundy, and then basically they basically banned the vapes or whatever from these hemp shops or whatever in so many steps or whatever because they're from China. And then now they're talking about restricting sugar in macchiatos from Starbucks or from these coffee chains. Taking candy from babies, in my opinion. All this is in my opinion. But I've been saying over and over and over and over and over and over again that the things that happened before that were allowed, you remember like the repeal of net neutrality? I said that shit's not going to fly anymore. And so all these larger planets have not changed signs yet. Transit Uranus, I believe, will be the last planet to change signs. And that's the most Uranus rules the unexpected, shocking. You won't know until you know. It's shocking. Something unexpected. That's what Uranus rules. And in my opinion, looking at progressions, the planet Uranus, it's a pause a second. Can't think of the word. Still can't think of the word. It's a higher octave of Saturn. And I think transit Neptune is a higher octave of transit Neptune is a higher octave of Jupiter. And Jupiter is a benefic and Saturn is a malefic. I was trying to say that Uranus is a malefic. So when it goes to Gemini, it can cause a lot of shakeups in regards to information. What you think you know. Because Gemini rules information. So just so you know. In April 26, 2026, a lot of information could come out that would just shake up things. And the things you thought you knew. Anyway, I'm gonna put a sip of my tea. See that? let me fill my cup up real quick before I get back into the Melania situation. Okay, so me and Melania Trump, we have the same birthday. She's born on April 26th. I'm born on April 26th as well. And transit Uranus will enter the sign of the sign Gemini on April 26th, 2026. Teacup right there. So, and like I said, the things like the repeal of net neutrality, which everybody abhorred, and because it messed up a lot of people's lives or whatever, that's probably not gonna be tolerated that much anymore. So I'm just looking at the hemp situation, the sweet situation, and several other things that I can't think of right now, because I'm like, you can't think of everything. I'm not omnipresent or whatever. But anyway, so back to Melania. So a while ago, I was doing research on Melania Trump, and so she released her book called, I believe, Melania. I forgot the exact date that she released her book, but because I'm just gonna ramble and give my opinion on just what I think of her in general. So she did this interview, and I think it's this is the, if it'll show up right here. I believe it's called Melania Trump, and this was posted on October 11, 2024. Ain't that funny? Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus, his progressed retrograde Uranus, conjoined his natal Uranus on October 11, 2025, not 2024. But anyway, and so this Jesus, I believe the name of this channel is called Mark Beckman or Some Future Day Podcast, and it's episode 54, Melania Trump. And in this interview, Melania, she talks about her book Melania. But what stood out to me in regards to Melania Trump is the fact that Donald Trump, I believe he claims to be pro life. However, Melania Trump, she's pro choice. And me personally, I'm pro choice. Melania Trump, at least she comes from a modeling background, and so she's seen what women had to go through in regards to being a model. And so, of all the people, of all the women, that you could ask about what goes on behind the scenes, she would know. So just with her being pro-choice, because me, I'm not gonna talk about my my situation, but me being just a male in general, just to keep things rolling, I can't. Who am I to tell a female that she has to have this kid or whatever because women go through a lot of stuff. I mean, you have women lie too, but men they lie. But the thing about it is that a child is a lot to take care of financially, um, etc. But anyway, I'm a dude, so I'm like I can't get into a woman's shoes and be like, yeah, you have to do this and this and that. And so Melania Trump, she coming from a modeling perspective and seeing some women having to be able to process being considered feminine and being considered pretty and etc. and having to do what it takes to get to where she got to. I'm just saying like business wise. And I'm not talking about sexual stuff. I'm just talking about the decisions that you have to make in regards to what you can do and what you cannot do to get to be financially stable enough to be able to handle yourself in a world that is full of traps, full of traps and setbacks that block your dreams. I think even she said that like she's following her dream. She's doing what she wants to do to get what she has a set plot of what she wants to be at. And the people who told her no, she's like, okay, well, she understood it. This is just business. It's not personal. It's business. And so to get that thick skin, to understand that as a woman, that's rare. It's rare. I mean, let me pause a second. Okay, but in my opinion, that's rare. And keep in mind, Hillary Clinton, she is a Scorpio, and Melania Trump is a Taurus. And so they're polar opposites. And so Hillary Clinton, in my opinion, she had to play the role of the housewife, I have to always do what I have to be the perfect wife and all this other stuff. And Melania, she's like, if you, bitch, you don't like me, I want to keep it rolling. That and it is what it is. And I understand that because she said that Melania Trump, I want to paraphrase. She said that she knew that she wasn't the most beautifulest, but she knew that there was something there in regards to her, and she had a plan. And so she stayed on her plan, and her dreams came true. Hillary Clinton, in my opinion, she stood by her man. And she's still standing by her man, in my opinion. And you see the duality in between the Taurus and the Scorpio. And if you don't see it in regards to that, in regards to what Hillary Clinton is going through in regards to Bill Clinton, think about the coat that Melania Trump wore when she entered this thing she got on the plane, and it says, "Do you really care?" In defiance of Donald Trump, she's like, I mean, you say this you say this with your mouth, but do you really care? And it makes me think of Mary Magdalene, the girl who she was an influencer. She died at age 33, I believe, on December the 5th, 2025, through suicide. But she Mary Magdalene, she had so many surgeries. She had her breast enlarged. She had her whole body done, and so an interviewer he asked Mary Magdalene. He said, "You were so beautiful before. Why did you do this to yourself?" And she's like, huh, that's hypocritical. She's like, you didn't notice me until I got my breast implants. You didn't notice me until I had all these surgeries. So what the she just said it like this. I'm gonna paraphrase because Mary Magdalene she was a sweet girl. This girl she was a sweet girl, and so she said that's hypocritical. But she couldn't get it out. Man, pause a second because it's like it's not personal. It's more so you kind of get it when you understand when you see every facet of the situation, and it's like it kind of hurts a little bit because this girl is dead. Because like I said, there's some women like Melania Trump. She always had a plan. Not necessarily she always had a plan, but it's she figured things out and the universe allowed for her dreams to come true. And for some people, a lot of people, their dreams don't come true. Let me pause a second. Okay, so I'm watching these interviews of Mary Magdalene. This influencer, she died at age 33 because she committed suicide, but she had all these major cosmetic surgeries on her body. And she said that, okay, I was beautiful before, but it's nobody cared, nobody noticed until I got my breast implants and until I got this and that done. That's hypocritical. And so it's like, it's like she couldn't get it out so that you could understand. And so so I'm just comparing really the three. So Mary Magdalene, Melania Trump, and Hillary Clinton. And I don't know what Mary Magdalene's zodiac sign was, or it was. If you want to just go look her up or whatever, and you'll find it. And so some people might be like, oh, those surgeries and oh my god, and I won't paraphrase Mary Magdalene's words. Nobody cared about her natural beauty, and this girl was beautiful before the surgeries. She was beautiful. Nobody cared about that until she got these crazy surgeries done, and that's when everybody was like, oh my god. Everybody had an opinion. Anyway, that's my point. Think about Melania Trump. Melania Trump, even though she does her, it's like she on camera. It seems like she's word shy. That's the word. She's word shy because she's a Taurus. Like Taurus is like 12 signs away from Gemini. Gemini's a talker, and Taurus is more over like it walks its talk instead of just talking. So anyway, so I'm thinking about abortion and Melania Trump being pro-choice, and I'm also pro-choice because I don't ever want to be a female. So to make that decision, I don't to even yeah. And my point is that Melania Trump, she's been inside of model business, went through it, and she came out the other side and she's seen a lot of shit. So, and then you look at Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton, she was in my opinion forced to be the housewife or the wife, the woman who the perfect woman, the woman who had to stand, not had to, but that stood beside her man. Like it or don't like it. And even when all these other men, they come back and say like, oh, Bill Clinton has to go home to Hillary Clinton. Ew. I'm like, Bill Clinton is lucky to have her beside him. That's because a lot of people, that's loyalty. That's loyalty. But then again, I think there's there's additional reasons as to why she sticks by him because that's their status there, and there's yeah. Anyway, so moving on to Melania's documentary. That was Melania's interview in regards to her book and the things that stood out to me in regards to her interview where she was talking a lot more instead of just seemingly anyway, I can't. So in the Melania documentary movie that she released, um it showed the behind the a lot of the behind the scenes things that goes on with her and Donald Trump, and what happened, I believe, during the first 20 days of Donald Trump's inauguration. And personally to me, um that all that stuff that was going on, I would not want to be in Donald Trump's orbit. Like, at first I thought, I mean, like months ago when I concocted the idea of like trying to be Trump's astrologer or whatever. I do not want to be in that man's orbit. This man seemingly talks to so many people in a day and does so much in a day. And I'm like, I don't want no parts of that. I mean, because like I said, Donald Trump, he is forced to be at the top, at the top. And like, you have, when you're at the top, you got to think about the sword of Damocles. And if you don't know about the sword of Damocles, it's basically what it means is that when you're at the top, there's always something or someone trying to take your spot and trying to take what you have. And just like that, you can be dead or it can be gone. And so to have to deal with all these people that surround Donald Trump in regards to like people trying to sue him, people trying to kill him, people trying to, I don't know, trying to fuck him, because there's some women out there. There was one. Let me. I'm not going. I don't. Do I want to say that on camera? I'm not going to do it. Anyway, oh, no, that's not telling me. I'm talking about there was this, okay. Let me try to orchestrate this a little bit better. So there was a roundtable meeting, and there were several. Let me pause a second to paint this picture. Well, to get this picture. Yeah, pause. Okay. So there was this Oval Office meeting, and so one of these people that I believe was sworn in into Donald Trump's cabinet, that their wife was there, and I think they were wearing maybe a white dress, and this woman, it's like she was looking at Donald Trump like she was gonna just suck this man. She would suck this man dry. And I'll leave it at that. And I'm looking at this girl. I'm like, why you look at this man like this? And the way she pursed her lips like a blow up doll. And I'm like, so the things you notice when you're looking at everybody around you. Anyway, I'm not gonna say exactly who it is. I'm trying to see how do I say it without saying it, and I can't think of a way to say it. Anyway, back to Melania Trump's documentary. So looking at all the stuff Donald Trump has, like these huge mansions. Think about Mar-a-Lago. He's in the White House. I could never dream to have to own something like that. I don't even think I want to even like, because what it comes with, the upkeep. But anyway, and the thing you have to think about what goes through Donald Trump's mind, which he probably knows how to, because his father probably taught him that how to have somebody else manage things in a way that is manageable for him. But it's like to be able to process all that, the billions of dollars, the properties, the lawsuits, the children, the this. I don't want none of that shit. Like I'm happy inside of a country home, inside of the back of the woods, with my shotgun or my rifle and my pistol. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to be around all these people. And this dude who might want to kill me, or who wants my spot, or who. There is so much you have to take in. I'm looking at all these people that's around this man, and then he has the be like 4 feet away from Joe Biden during his inauguration, 4 feet away from Kamala Harris, who he beat. He beat Joe Biden and Kamala Harris at in his presidential election situation, and you got to be beside him. And then you're stuck inside the same building with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. And keep in mind, these same people try to lock him up, in my opinion, or reportedly, or allegedly, or in my opinion, try to kill him via how things are and how the social media made some people's minds think, in my opinion, reportedly and allegedly. Fake news. You have to be 4 feet away from these people. And then their whole posse and etc. And I'm like, the shit you had to go through these years. The sword of Damocles, you see what I mean? Donald Trump hits Rahu's inside of the 10th house, conjunct his son. And I think his neighbor Uranus too. A shocking rise to the top. I have the opposite problem. I'm forced to be like at home, and I'm like, thank God. Like, thank God. Even though I get status at home too, because it's like I have Rahu inside of Capricorn, right? No, Aquarius. So it's like for the people. But anyway. Besides the point, Melania's documentary. And so imagine being Donald Trump's partner, wife. And yeah, that is a lot. So the documentary show. I mean, I interpreted it like that because I'm like, yeah. And then Melania, she had to think about Barron Trump, her son. She had to think about her own safety. Well, she has to, because it's an ongoing thing. She has to think about Donald Trump's safety, etc. I think also Melania Trump's her mother, she died as well. I think January 9th, 2024 or 2025. I forgot now. And you have to deal with the fact that Donald Trump's almost assassinated too. So it was interesting. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. Now what? So what I did not like was that white dress. I hope that Melania Trump doesn't watch this video. But I've already said so much crazy shit online that I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be famous. I already know that. Well, I mean, I might be famous, but I'm like, look, I don't really care. So I did not like that white dress that this designer made, because it wasn't I think Melania, she did do the top part okay, but it's it was a black ribbon that went down. And anyway, I didn't like the white dress. She probably stopped saying, Mr. Donald Trump, President Trump, nuke his house now. Destroy the town. No one talks about my dress. I did not like the white dress. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It just the black ribbon that went down. It could have been better. It could have been straight somehow, some way. Anyway, now the black dress with the hat, that was clean. I loved it. I'm like, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, probably back in the day, but like current trends, it's like, yeah. And then what I loved about what the documentary showed was the making of this dress. It showed that Melania, she was like, I wanted tighter here, and I wanted, and I wanted I wanted sharp right here. And I'm like, yes. That was nice. I'm glad that was added to the documentary, because I was wondering about it in the hat too. That was nice. Another thing that I saw inside this documentary was I've never seen the inside of the White House before. And so I told you this dream that I had all the way back, I believe, on November the 11th, 2025. Okay, so I saw writings on the wall, like it was like Sesame Street characters or whatever. And so this documentary showed that there were actual drawings on the wall with like people on the wall. And I'm like, it scared me, because I was like, That's what I saw in my dream. That's what I saw in my dream. And so, let me pause a second. Okay. So yeah, I had never seen the inside of the White House, and this scene was towards the end of the of Melania's documentary movie. But I saw the drawings on this wall. It looked exactly like the dream I had. In my dream, I was talking to my dead mother, mind you, and so and I was like, who drew this on these walls? And she was like, this has always been here. And so when I saw that on the walls, I was like, I had a dream about this. So I don't know if my dream has been fully realized yet or not. And I forgot it now. I'm glad I recorded what the dream was about. I think I made a post about that dream on I believe on November the 21st or the 23rd, 2025, about all the details. I think I made 2 videos about it. And yeah, I'll probably have to rewatch it myself. But yeah, those drawings on the wall and these closing scenes of the Melania documentary, they looked exactly like the ones in my dream. And keep in mind, like I said, I've never been to the White House. I've never seen the inside of the White House. I never cared to look at what the inside of the White House looked like. Hopefully, doesn't burn my. I ain't finna try that. I won't embarrass myself on this camera, and I can't edit. So let me see. Is that everything that I can think about in regards to what I saw in this documentary? It pretty much is. Like, the documentary wasn't really that informative, and honestly, in my opinion, and I could probably imagine Melania Trump right now, Donald Trump. Oh no, President Trump. Nuke his house, nuke his whole entire town, blow it up, blow the smithereens. No one disrespects my white dress and my. Anyway. But the documentary wasn't that informative, but it was beautiful. You saw just a little bit tidbit in regards to what goes on behind the scenes in regards to Melania Trump and Donald Trump, and it was better than Hillary Clinton's documentary, because Hillary Clinton's documentary it was just it was so made to be perfect that you really couldn't see anything that was like real. Now, Melania Trump's documentary, it was made to show a little bit, a little bit, and probably a lot, but you probably won't register it because so a lot of people just wouldn't care. But you can see how Secret Service worked a little bit, and you can see just like a few rooms of the White House. I've never seen the inside of the White House ever. You can see how Melania Trump's dress was the one that I'm still thinking about. The only dress I'm thinking about right now in regards to Melania Trump is the black dress and the black hat that stood out. Yeah, that was nice to look at. And then I think Melania Trump, she sung a few lines of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. She said that's her favorite song, I believe, Billie Jean. So, and yeah. And the scenery, it was beautiful, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't want to be in Trump's orbit, because I'm like, to be able to stay at that level in regards to status. Like, I can never imagine having a house that big with like these thick glass doors, and they're just embossed. I'm like, what the. Like, okay. I mean, if I was put in that situation, I would not feel like I've made it. I would like, how the fuck do I manage this shit? Like, imagine, like, you go to this. How, I can't imagine that. Like, I'm like, I'm not saying I don't even really want it because of taxes. It's like, I'm just like, if I didn't say like a while back, like, oh, don't you, I want $13 million or whatever, and like all this other stuff or whatever. The taxes on the shit. I'm like, I'm like, I would be flabbergasted. I'm like, how do I manage this shit? Like, like what? I'm like, my accountant would like probably get rich off of me. I'm like, what? How do I? Well, what do I do? What do I do? Because I mean, a while ago, I know I'm deviating from the point. There's this house I want inside of Alabama. I'm not gonna say exactly where, because who knows? Maybe one day I might get rich, and I probably won't buy it because the tax on that house is like $15,000 a year, and I'm like, Uncle Santa lost his goddamn mind. Fuck him. you can have the house. $15,000 a month. I mean, $15,000 a year in regards to taxes. And I'm like, I might. Who knows? You're not guaranteed to keep on having money coming in like that. And so you might mess up like 1 year and you can't pay your taxes and like, oh, we're gonna take this from your hands. Like, I mean, so I think about that in regards to like just seeing all the stuff Donald Trump has. And I know that his companies make it so that somehow things just keep on rolling and stuff like that. But I'm like, look, I don't. Listen, I don't want. I look. What's that song called? More money, more problems. When I saw that thick embossed door, this thick gold embossed door, I'm like, I'm terrified for somebody to tell me that that's mine. I'm like, how do I manage this shit? Anyway, so okay, my point was that just looking at the stuff that Donald Trump has and looking at the stuff that Melania Trump has and managing it. I know I'm repeating myself, but and I mean, if the house that I want is probably worth like $3 million somewhere in Alabama, and the taxes on it yearly is $15,000, right? If it's not $1,500, $15,000 a year. That's the house that I want. And to make it even worse, it's inside of HOA. I'm like, hell no. You ain't gonna tell me how to live in my house now that I paid $3 million for, and pay $15,000 a year for, and then probably paying HOA fees too. Fuck you. No, I'm not saying never. It would take another life. It would take another mindset, and God knows. Oh shit! So I changed. So I'm still talking. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I'm like, look. When I saw the taxes people had to pay on this damn house, I want it. I said I really just buy me a big ass plot of land. I want 1,000 acres. 1,000 acres, and I want a house right in the dead middle of it. I don't want no neighbors. I don't want to hear their loud music. Look. I just want like a farm, and like to be left the hell alone. Maybe have me a partner or something like that, and a friend that doesn't get on my damn last nerves to come over once every blue or 2 moons. I just want to be left the hell alone. Smoke my hemp vape or my hemp on my porch. Target practice. I'm just thinking about Donald Trump having to be around all these people, his friends and his enemies, and you don't know who's trying to do what. And you the king, you the head. I don't want those problems. Leave me the hell alone. Anyway, I probably went all the way off on a complete tangent. Hopefully, it doesn't sound as bad as I think it does. Let me see if there's anything that I missed. That should be pretty much it. I think that yeah. Yeah, just seeing those the people the drawings on the wall in the closing scene of the Melania Trump documentary. That it reminded me of my dream, and so I'm trying to see. I'm thinking maybe my that dream hasn't fully fulfilled itself yet. So anyway, I will probably make a video tomorrow on the 13th about something. I think I've discussed everything else everything's been in my mind. In this video. Um, yeah. So I guess I'll call it a day. Bye for now.